Good morning, guys. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, Canning Recipes, a little bit of everything. We are on a video marathon because, are you serious? Because we sure are. I've got about 5 pounds of russet organic white potatoes that we are going to process this morning. It doesn't take as long as the sweet potatoes. So what we've done so far is Greg peeled them for me. We've got them washed up really good. We're going to boil them here for about 7 to 10 minutes. We don't want them to get cooked. We just want them to get a little soft. I have my jar sterilized with a tablespoon of kosher salt. No table salt, guys. And then I have my boiling water back here that we're going to put to it. These potatoes are going to be great. Number one, they're going to be great for maybe frying up with some onions or making the new potatoes, which my mom, who I lost 3 weeks ago, very hard, guys, very hard. Anyway, taught me how to make the new potato sauce gravy. And so even when I was a little girl, I would learn how to put that butter in there, a little bit of flour, and add a little bit of milk to make the gravy and then pour over the potatoes. And that's pretty much the only way I would eat potatoes as a little girl. And so that's what I'm gearing these for. So we can either do soft fried, we can do the new potatoes with the gravy. You might even can mash them, I don't know, but I'll try and I'll show you and do a video to see if we can. But anyway, let's get started on canning these. Super easy, super easy. If you got some potatoes around the house that are getting ready to die out, you want to do this. Get your pressure canner out and get going, guys. Get going. We are preserving everything we can put our hands on. We're either freeze drying, we're either freezing, or we're canning. And that goes for our meats. That goes for the Chinese food that's over in the freeze dryer right now. Everything we can get our hands on to preserve for long-term storage, we're doing. Stay tuned. When you're canning your potatoes, you don't want to cut them up into small dices. You can, but they need to be uniform. We're using the larger slices or dices or pieces. So if you have a small potato, leave them whole or cut them in 2. And if you have a large potato, cut them in 4s. Because we want these to maintain their integrity and maintain their shape even through the processing period in the pressure canner, which is only about 60 minutes, guys. So the sweet potatoes were 90 minutes. This is only going to be about 60 minutes. Taters are drained. We're going to start packing away, guys. We're going to start packing away. So again, we put a tablespoon of kosher salt in here. You cannot use table salt because of the iodine, and it will not preserve properly. Now, I don't know how many quarts I'm going to get in these, but I've prepared 4. And again, this is 5 pounds of potatoes. And we're doing the hot pack method. And again, you can see that these are pretty hefty chunks, and that's the way we want them, because we want them to maintain their texture and their integrity. Might be better just for me to remove that. I'll use that for the water. So that when we go to cook them, we can fry them up as soft fried potatoes, which I absolutely love. We just add a little bit of onion and some garlic, and boy, is that good eating. Does anybody eat soft fried potatoes anymore with garlic and onions? Because we sure do. So I've got some boiling water over there on the stove, because that's what we're going to use as our liquid. Sorry, it's a little noisy. Again, if you have a bag of potatoes that's getting ready to eye out, this is a very easy way to preserve and not waste any of your taters. For the long haul. Ooh, these are hot chihuahua. So we also have some freeze-dried scallop potatoes back there. And now we're going to have canned So, yeah. So 5 pounds brought us 4 quarts. And this will feed Greg and I, and somebody else actually, for 1 meal. And I hate doing this because I'm not. There we go. So you want to leave about a 1-inch head space. My pressure canner is gearing up. And this is quick, guys. 60 minutes. 60 minutes and you have potatoes that will last you a very long time. Now, Ball and Kerr say 18 months, but I'll tell you what, guys, we got stuff out back there that we're eating 3 and 4 years old, and it's just fine. Okay. Let's get these filled. Okay. Next, you want to make sure and get the air bubbles out. This one's a little bit full, but I think that will be just fine. Let me push that down. Yeah. These are already hot. It's not going to take long for that pressure canner to come up to speed on that venting and then the pressure canning. I'm going to mash these ones down a little bit. Make sure we get them as covered as best as we can. So you want to make sure that you're going to get a good seal, so you need to inspect your lids, or your tops, I'm sorry, of your glass jars, and wipe them off. Finger tight, guys, finger tight, because you don't want the pressure to build in the jars while they're pressure canning and possibly break your jars. So again, 5 pounds netted us 4 quarts of very large potatoes that we can make new potatoes out of with the handy dandy gravy that my mother taught me. Oops. So now into the pressure canner. And like I said, yes, that water is already starting to boil, because it's not going to take long for these to come up to speed. We're going to let it vent for 10 minutes before we put the weight on it. Let me turn this around. So we use the Presto Canner. Love it. This is my second one. It always does well for us. Lock it down. And now we're going to crank up the heat. And whenever this vents, it's going to start venting here probably pretty quick, because the potatoes are hot and the water is hot. And we're going to let that vent for 10 minutes before we put our weight on. And then once we put our weight on, we're going to bring it up to 10 to 11 pounds. And we're going to set our timer for 60 minutes. Stay tuned. When I say venting, guys, this is what I mean. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see the steam. So it's been about 10 minutes. It is time to put our weight on. Now, once our dial gets up to about 11 pounds, I'm going to set my timer for 60 minutes. Alright my friends, it took exactly 3 minutes for it to get up to 11 pounds. So now, ooh, I didn't like the way that sounded. I'm going to set my timer for 60 minutes and I'm going to turn down my heat. Okay, I'm getting it stabilized. She's starting to come down a little bit. Gosh guys, I'm eager to know what that popping sound was, so you better stay tuned. I've never lost a jar yet, break inside of a canner, but it doesn't mean it ain't going to happen. Let's wait and see. So we're going to get this back down to about 11 pounds and I'm going to stabilize it some more. I had to turn it down way low and I'll kick it back up to maintain. So what happens if that handy dandy little dial drops down below 11 to 10 pounds? You got to start all over. So I really don't want that to happen. When you're canning, be sure and watch it and don't let it drop at any cost. So we got it stabilized guys. Again, we're going to sit here and watch this and make sure that dial don't drop any further. And if it does, we're going to kick up the heat just a little bitty bit. We've got to maintain this for 60 minutes. Alright my friends, it's been 60 minutes, so now we're going to wait for this pressure to drop down to 0 and for this vent to drop down. We're not going to touch it until then, and then we're going to open it up and see if something burst. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we just finished. It just dropped like 10 seconds ago, so we're going to open it up and see what that sound was and see how our potatoes did. Let's see. Take the weight off. Now when you open, guys, I'm making some chili. It's quite chilly outside, so I'm making some chili. So when you open your canner, be very careful because there's still some steam in there, a lot of heat, and you open it away from you. See that? So that it comes up. Woo. Did anything break? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. I'm making my pop some venison chili for tomorrow. And we're going to go look for him a tiny house to put on our back acre. We hope to have him out here by the springtime. So let's see. Oh, yep. That didn't sound so good. So let's take this one out. I'll turn my meat down here. Here's another one. And another one. Wonder why that was making that noise. Let's take it out really quick and see. I don't know, guys. Let's get a closer gander. I don't really see anything that looks like it was compromised. Huh. Wonder what that was. Let's look around here. You see anything? I don't. Let's look in the bottom. I don't see any broken glass. So we're going to let these cool. I will update you on that. So my freeze dryer just kicked on the pump, which means it is now starting to dry for my Chinese food. So I'll be updating you on quite a bit tomorrow. Guys, I think it looks fine. We'll see if it seals and go from there. So it's been a very busy day today. I did not get around to picking the radishes. I had to do that tomorrow, but it's getting quite cool out there. We got a very strong northwest wind, and we're expecting it to get even stronger overnight and tomorrow. So we do have the high tunnel closed up, but this will help dry up some of the ground so Greg can get to work again tomorrow on that other high tunnel. But anyway, we are making progress and we are so excited. So this is the end for the potatoes. Now I'm going to start on my chili. Our freeze dryer just kicked off, so I bet that Chinese food is ready about this time tomorrow. We will check it out. I'll heat some up for you, add a little bit of water, reconstitute it, and we'll see how it goes. Take care. God bless. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you for following us. Thank you for subscribing. Click that little bell. You want to know what's going on here at the farm. We are here to help. Please send your comments. Let me know about what you think about all the things going on, especially that Chinese freeze-dried food that we're going to try out. And got to get back to work here. Take care. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.